Dear friend, welcome to our channel. In modern life, have you ever felt like you were living a haphazard, blind life, not really understanding life? We often frown because we have to wake up early to go to work before we've had a full night's sleep, grimacing during 8 hours of work you don't like, annoyed when you see someone is better than you, irritated because the things you created don't go according to your wishes, or frustrated because it's cold and rainy but still have to go out. Traffic jams, smoke dust. Struggling with food and money all our lives, we always seem to be bothered by countless things around us. I bet you can easily see this image not only in yourself, but also in those around you. I used to be like that too. Long enough, uncomfortable enough, tormented enough, with big questions that have no answers. Finally, I realized the biggest problem that makes it difficult for us to have a peaceful, happy life, having to live in insecurity, frustration. If we don't do this, then do that. If we don't have family, then work. It's very difficult. Many things affect us. And I think we ourselves are under too much pressure, living without really understanding what life is. We are spending our whole lives playing a game without knowing the rules. Most of us are all in for a game of chance. And that's when I realized that the key to escaping this cycle is learning to control my reactions. This is an aspect of life, but extremely important. Instead of reacting instinctively, we need to train our minds to react more positively and intelligently. That is the core of Stoic philosophy. So, how do we escape this spiral? This is at the heart of Stoic philosophy, a philosophy that helps us train our minds to control how we face every situation in life. Stoic philosophy, with its time-tested principles and methods, gives us valuable tools for training our minds. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "We cannot control the wind, but we can adjust the sails." This means that we cannot control everything that happens around us, but we can control how we react to them. In today's video, we'll explore the journey from instinctive reactions to more active and intelligent reactions through Stoic philosophy. You will learn how to train your mind to not only face, but also overcome all challenges effectively. Get ready to start this journey with us. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next valuable lessons, and leave a comment on how you have applied the Stoic philosophy in your life. Let's build a strong community where everyone can learn and grow, transforming instinctive reactions into positive, intelligent, and effective responses. Thank you for following, and wish you an exciting and meaningful journey of discovery. Let's start learning together. Dear friend, have you ever wondered why you react so strongly when criticized or when facing difficulties in life? It's because of our ego. So do you wonder what the ego is? Ego is understood like this. Ego is a person's sense of self, including his or her self-perception and view of his or her role, value, and identity in society. It is often related to self-preservation, protects personal image, and can lead to strong and thoughtless reactions when feeling threatened or challenged. The ego, with its desire for recognition and self-protection, often leads us to immediate and thoughtless reactions. But how can we control everything that is out of our hands? Stoicism offers us an approach to mastering our reactions, moving from instinctive reactions to active and intentional reactions. Why does the ego influence our reactions? Ego is often formed from preconceptions about ourselves and who we think we are. It motivates us to protect our image and react strongly when challenged. For example, when someone criticizes you, your ego may make you angry and react strongly to protect your ego. But in reality, these reactions often only make the situation worse. So what can I do? Do you think that forbearance and patience can transform our lives? Although it can sometimes be uncomfortable in certain situations, I recommend you give it a try and practice. You will find it worthwhile. I know that all of us are born with inherent instincts, such as hunting, protecting, self-defense. But what would happen if we could control those instincts and transform them into positive reactions? Have you ever wondered if it would be difficult to do this? I say it's not difficult. What do you think when I say that? Because I have practiced and found that it is not difficult. Have you ever heard the saying, "The river is deep and quiet"? This quote perfectly illustrates the inner calm and control we can achieve by practicing Stoic philosophy. Oh, how can we control everything that is out of our hands. Actually, we cannot control everything, but we can control how we react to events around us. Ego often pushes us to react aggressively and thoughtlessly, leading to stress and regret. However, by training our minds through mindfulness and self-awareness, we can recognize when our ego is driving our actions and when our desires are actually leading. Mindfulness helps us stop, reflect, and choose an appropriate response, instead of reacting immediately and instinctively. Don't let your instincts overwhelm you with negative emotions. Always ask yourself, what is really important to you? Target? Happy? Career? Relationship? And to practice mindfulness effectively, I will share with you in the following videos. I don't want to talk about it in this video because it might confuse you, because I know knowledge about philosophy is very painful. But when you understand it, I believe you will be very satisfied because it is valuable for you and the community. Before, I used to act on instincts like everyone else. When I am criticized, I immediately react with anger. When I encounter difficulties, I feel discouraged and want to give up. But after each time, I ask myself, why do I have to do that? Is there anything to gain from winning or losing? Really, when you hurt someone, do you feel like you've really accomplished anything? Or just regret and stress? Instinctive reactions often only bring suffering and stress. Think about the last time you reacted angrily to someone. You may feel like you have the upper hand at the time, but afterward, regret and guilt can be overwhelming. Not only do we hurt others, we also hurt ourselves. Oh, how can we find peace in this turbulent world? By training our minds and controlling our egos, we can create a more peaceful life. Practice mindfulness daily, recognizing when your ego is taking over and choosing a response that aligns with your true values and desires. This not only helps you reduce stress, but also helps you build better relationships with those around you. So magical. Simplicity brings us endless freedom. Focus on the things that really matter. Live simply and have few desires. This way, you will feel happier and freer. Stoicism teaches us that happiness lies not in achieving things, but in understanding and accepting ourselves. Oh my God, inner peace is more important than all the material things out there. Remember, our ultimate goal is to live a fulfilling and meaningful life. By controlling our reactions, we can build a happy and peaceful life. Don't let your ego take over and make you lose control. Let Stoic philosophy help you adjust your life, turning every challenge into an opportunity to develop and improve yourself. Start this journey today. Ask yourself, what do I really want? And is this reaction coming from ego or from my true values? In this way, you will gradually master your reactions and live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Oh my life, true happiness lies in understanding and accepting yourself. Let Stoicism be your guide, helping you adjust the sails of life, overcome all storms, and find peace within all circumstances. The second thing I want you to see is things according to their true nature. Only when you understand correctly can you practice correctly. Stoic philosophy encourages us to focus on what is within our control and let go of what we cannot control. This means we should pay attention to how we think, feel, and act, instead of obsessing over external factors that we cannot change. For example, we cannot control the weather, but we can control how we prepare for and react to it. By seeing things as they are, we train our minds to not get caught up in emotions and instinctive reaction. Instead of reacting immediately to criticism, we can stop, reflect, and choose a more appropriate response. For example, when we are criticized, instead of getting angry, we can look at the criticism objectively and see it as an opportunity to improve ourselves. Dear friends, have you ever wondered why you often fail to see things as they really are? That's because our egos often see things through the lens of the past and struggle to see in a new or more realistic way. The ego likes its own opinions, and this can limit our ability to perceive what is really going on. Why is it so difficult for the ego to see things as they are? The ego is easily blinded because it tends to process in a focused manner. This means that the ego is only aware of what it is focused on at that moment. For example, when you are attending a social event that you don't like because it makes you nervous, your ego focuses only on that feeling of anxiety without realizing other factors surrounding the event. Or conversely, If you're looking forward to the event because you know you'll shine, your ego is focused on feeling excited and craving recognition from others. An alternative to focus is awareness. When we move from concentration to awareness, we change the focus to a more comprehensive consideration of what is going on, but also less selfish. This means that instead of just focusing on our personal feelings, we need to look at the entire situation objectively and neutrally. All of the above may sound confusing, but just imagine. You are at a party and feel nervous. Your ego focuses only on this feeling of anxiety, making you feel uncomfortable and want to leave. Stop and ask yourself, what am I doing here? What's going on around me? Are other people having fun? Why are they here? What is the goal of this party? When you start asking these questions, you'll see that your anxiety is just a small part of a bigger picture. You will realize that people come to the party to socialize, relax, and enjoy themselves. Your worries become less important, and you are able to perceive the whole situation in a more balanced way. Nice. You are having a discussion with a friend about an important topic. However, you are constantly distracted by other thoughts, like work or future plans. Remind yourself of the goal of this discussion. I'm here to understand my friend's perspective, to share ideas, and to learn from each other. Other thoughts are not important right now. When you focus on the goal of the discussion, you will find it easier to listen and engage in the conversation in a deep and meaningful way. And I encourage you to practice with questions, ask yourself and answer yourself. In each situation, start talking about it in your head. What am I doing? What's going on? What are others doing? Why am I here? What is my goal? Second, complete the painting. Try to complete the painting in a neutral way by bringing all kinds of details to the surface. This helps you move from individual reactions to a more general perception of the situation. Third, you should be aware. As you begin to become more aware of what is going on, you will become more balanced and your judgment will improve. You will not only be more aware of yourself, but also of the entire situation. By seeing things for what they are, we can reduce the influence of the ego and respond in a more positive and intentional way. Stoic philosophy teaches us that peace and happiness come from controlling our minds and reactions, rather than getting caught up in emotions and instinctive reactions. Practice and apply these principles to live a more fulfilling and meaningful life. That last thing is 3. Play another tune. It is clear that we humans did not create ourselves. No one creates their own face or agrees on the number of arms and legs they will have. Since there is no way to describe what created us, as well as everything else, let's call it the universe. Our ego navigates this life mainly through ideas, beliefs, opinions, reasoning, etc. But have you noticed that in the great example of life around us, the natural world, they don't use words or reason like we do? Buddha Lao Tzu said, "Nature is in no hurry, but everything is accomplished." So, can we adjust to the same potential for success that nature has? This is not just about nature, but also about the intelligence of the universe. Because we are created by the universe, and it is worthwhile trying to open our minds to the many ways it can guide us. Why does the ego isolate us from the universe? It is easy for the ego to focus on what it already knows and promote its current view of itself. In doing so, it isolates itself from the universe and its inherent powers and intelligence. Think of a small child who at birth knows nothing about the world around him. That child explores things naturally and without being influenced by personal prejudices or opinions. But as we grow older, we begin to form an ego and begin to evaluate things through the lens of that ego. What can we learn from nature and the universe? Nature is in no hurry, but everything gets done. Look at a weed. Even though it is small, it still grows strongly in harsh conditions. It does not need debate or reasoning to exist. It is simply accepting the surrounding environment and growing in the most natural way. This teaches us that if we learn to regulate our minds in the same way, we can achieve peace and contentment without having to fight our ego. How can Stoicism help us adjust in this way? Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control and accept what cannot be changed. In the same way that a weed plant accepts a harsh environment and still thrives, we can also learn to accept the circumstances around us and find ways to respond positively and intentionally. Imagine you're in an important meeting and someone criticizes your idea. Your ego may react strongly, you feel offended and want to defend yourself. But if you apply the Stoic philosophy, you will realize that not everything is within your control. You can't control other people's opinions, but you can control how you react. Instead of getting angry, you can choose to calmly listen and think about how to improve your idea. Look at the river flowing through the mountains. No matter how many obstacles it encounters, it patiently curves around them and continues to flow forward. It doesn't stop to complain about the rocks in its way. It accepts it and finds a way to overcome it. Similarly, we can also learn to accept difficulties in life and find ways to overcome them calmly and patiently. Try a simple exercise. When you feel your ego taking over, stop and observe your surroundings. Look at a plant or a flower and try to perceive it as if you have never seen it before. Imagine you were born on a new planet, and this is the first time you see plants or flowers. Pay attention to how you feel and realize that there is a beauty and intelligence in everything around us that the ego often ignores. Practice this exercise when you feel caught up in negative emotions or instinctive reaction. For example, when you're in the middle of a heated argument, stop and look out the window, focusing on a tree or a flower. Let your soul calm down and realize that the natural world exists without our struggle. This helps you realize that there are bigger and calmer things going on around you, and you don't have to react instinctively. Why not try this now? When you practice seeing things in a fresh and ego-free way, you will begin to see serenity and happiness in your daily life. You will realize that freedom does not lie in controlling everything, but in accepting and adjusting to what the universe offers. So by applying Stoic philosophy, we can learn to live in harmony with the universe and find peace of mind. Try to see things for what they are, not through the lens of ego, and you will find life becomes much more pleasant and meaningful. Bless, the courage to face fear is true human strength. Let Stoicism guide you on this journey, helping you master your reactions and live a fulfilling life and meaning. Ego is an inseparable part of being human, but allowing it to dominate too much can lead to thoughtless reactions and unnecessary stress. Stoic philosophy teaches us how to identify and control the ego, helping us to react positively and intentionally instead of acting on instinct. By separating our ego's habits from our true desires, we can see things for what they are, reduce stress, and find peace in life. We encourage you to apply these lessons to your daily life. Start by practicing mindfulness, self-awareness, and observing nature. Challenge yourself to control your reactions and not let your ego take over and lead you. You will find that life becomes much more pleasant and meaningful. If you find these shares useful, please press the subscribe button to not miss our next videos. We look forward to hearing your opinions and experiences about controlling the ego and applying Stoic philosophy in life. Please leave a comment below and share your thoughts. Together, we will learn and grow, making life more fulfilling and peaceful.